You're listening to the world's most controversial podcast, the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show. This is a philosophical science fiction project featuring realistic futurology and refreshingly heretical commentary on the news. I'm your fictional host, Doomsy McDoomscroller, and if you've got something to say to me, or if you want to be heard on the show, or if you just want my backstory, visit www.doomsymcdoomscroller.com. Alright, let's get into it. Let's do some doom scrolling so you don't have to. Although, wait, let me see. Let me find something here. There was something I wanted to address right off the bat. Where is it? Let's see. Okay, well, let's do this right here. Because I'm going to show you an article here, and this is what I mean by realistic futurology. Okay, realistic futurology. And, you know, I'm concerned. I guess futurology is part of Doomsy's show because, when am I going to make it back to Earth? I don't know. Could take decades. Could take decades for me to get back to Earth. And, you know, this whole robot apocalypse thing, this AI, come on. The Doomsy McDoomscroller Show is science fiction, but, what's going on right now on Earth is not. That's just reality. There's going to be no robot apocalypse. I mean, really, AI is going to be your downfall. What's going to be your downfall is farming, is your culture, civilized culture. That's what's going to do y'all in. Holy war agriculture. That's what's causing all the problems. So look at this right here. This is a podcast. You don't have to look. Yeah, I'm going to read. And, if you aren't getting the video feed, then I'll read what you're missing on the scroll, which says basically, currently, there are more than 8 billion humans held captive by the culture of maximum conflict and suffering. Civilized culture has never been, is not now, and never will be sustainable in any way, shape, or form. And that's the elephant in the room that makes news commentary in the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show confusing for Egyptian crocodiles. This is realistic futurology. Look at this article here. Let me read this article. This is in The Guardian. Elon Musk joins call for pause in creation of giant AI digital minds. More than 1,000 artificial intelligence experts urge delay until world can be confident effects will be positive and risks manageable. Delay? Delay in AI. Oh, for one, that's just not realistic. You guys, all y'all, the 8 billion of you, you don't delay any pyramid building. It's just not something you do. If there's a pyramid to be built, you guys do it. That's why guns ain't going away anytime soon in the USA. That's a pyramid y'all started building, and it's not going away. You can't just stop building pyramids, you civilized folks. And this is March 30th. We'll get to some newer headlines, but AI is the biggest threat to mankind since the Manhattan Project. Please. Come on, that's a headline. This is Yahoo News. Articles by Dan Snow. They got a mushroom cloud. The picture looks like some AI boom. It's a mushroom cloud, but it looks like it's in a video game. Oh, very cute. Entered the nuclear age. AI. See, you know, there's just not enough time. You don't have enough time to develop AI. I think to really get robot apocalypse, you're going to need robots for one. And I don't see that on the horizon. As long as you don't put AI in charge of every single weapon, you guys are going to be without risk of AI. But you're certainly at risk of disappearing just through your traditional warmongering, because you do plenty of that. Really. Let me clear this. We'll go through just some random articles here. Yeah, I'm going to start broadcasting more frequently. I think Doomsy should be a daily thing, and really do a lot of scrolling. I should just hit up all the news that's worth complaining about. Like this article right here. Let me read you this headline. This is also on Yahoo News. Yeah, somehow Doomsy's got Wi-Fi to Earth, to the Earth of my origin. I'm not sure what universe I'm in, what parallel, alternate, multiverse kind of thing. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure all this stuff is from the Earth of my origin, where I come from. This article says, threatened fish gets 524 miles of habitat in Mississippi. Threatened fish. Getting some miles. It's from the Associated Press. This is for April 7th, 2023. Yahoo News. Jackson, Mississippi. I just read you the headline. I'm going to read you the first paragraph here. More than 500 river miles have been designated critical habitat for a threatened fish species once found in Louisiana and Mississippi, but now known only in part of its historic Mississippi range. Okay. How nice of y'all to give this threatened fish 524 miles. Now, I'm sure that's just going to work out. Just dandy, right? Let me use, things are just going to go swimmingly for this fish, right? For this fish species. That's going to take care of everything. Right, this designation, let me continue reading here. The Center for Biological Diversity in the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service said Wednesday that the habitat designation affects the pearl darter, a 2.5-inch long, 6 centimeter long fish named for the Pearl River, but which is no longer found there or in any of its tributaries. Instead, the remaining populations are found along the Pascagoula River system in southeast Mississippi. Species has been gutted in Mississippi and Louisiana because of oil and gas developments, dams, mining, urbanization, and agriculture. The article goes on to say the critical habitat designation includes a section, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is something on paper, right? This has been declared. You're protecting habitat. What? Protecting from who? From y'all. It's been gutted in Mississippi and Louisiana because of oil and gas developments, dams, mining, urbanization, agriculture. But those are just going to stop? Y'all are going to stop doing those things. Well, if your culture continues, you won't stop doing those things. That's what you do. The civilized culture continues. This is meaningless. 524 miles of habitat in Mississippi. That's not going to happen. It's not going to do any good for these fish. This fish, they've been getting along for 1 million years. For 1 million years, nobody has had to give them any kind of mileage. It just hasn't been necessary. But, no, here are the fish saviors. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service got a habitat designation. Woo-wee, ooh. Y'all and your habitat designations. Yeah, I'm lumping y'all in together. Okay, you got to own this, okay? I'm going to go to... These are related, whether you think so or not. Okay, let me go to right here. This headline, also from Yahoo News. Okay, this is a little more recent. April 30th. Tom Phillips and Harold Isaac. And it's hell. Is the quote. It's hell. On the headline. Headline starts with a quote. It's hell. Vigilantes take to Haiti's streets in bloody reprisals against gangs. Okay, this is your culture. This is you. Own it. Own it. Why don't you? You know why you don't own it? Because you think, ooh, civilized. This isn't civilized. Yeah, it is. This is just what y'all do. This is what they talk about in this article. I'll read some of it to you before in a moment, but she's talking about a killing and a burning and a killing and a burning and a killing and a burning. That's what's going on in Haiti right now. That's pretty much sums up the history of your culture. Yeah, I'm lumping y'all in together. 8 billion of you. I use a second person plural, y'all, because I'm Doomsy. I've been away from Earth so long. I'm not part of your culture anymore. It's a sad state of affairs that for me to get away from your culture, I had to leave the planet. That's how dominant the dominant culture is on Earth. I'm glad to be out of the culture. I miss Earth. I don't know where I am now. I got to wear a spacesuit everywhere. If I get out of this ship, I got to have a helmet on. Nothing's quite right, air-wise, on any of these planets. So this is the dominant culture. Oh, you need laws. You need tougher gun laws. And the gun violence in USA. Look what Haiti's going through. Don't look, listen. Right? This is a podcast. As Valina, oh geez, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce her name right. It's Valina Elise Charlier ventured onto the streets of her conflict-stricken city last week. She encountered scenes that will haunt her for many years to come. Armed civilians dragging bodies through the streets, smoldering corpses, young men with machetes chasing suspected gangsters they planned to kill. I've seen enough dead people for many lifetimes, said the Haitian human rights activist. Since Monday, if you get killed, you get burned. It's kill, burn, kill, burn. It's nothing I would want anyone else to witness. It stays with you. It's hell, you know? The nightmarish events unfolding in Haiti's coastal capital began before dawn on Monday, when members of one of its notorious gangs reportedly tries to seize control of the city's Turgot area. What they didn't count on was the population striking back, said the activist who works in the neighborhood. Okay, well, that's your culture. Okay, let's check out some more things that define your culture, like, you know, all the shootings in the land of the free. It's the land of the fear. Well, that's really what it is everywhere. Just lots of fear. This is an entertaining headline here, isn't it? Russia's Air Force accidentally bombs own city, Belgrade. Yeah. Of course, I'm just kidding about entertaining. Was that sarcasm? The lowest form of humor? Russia's Air Force. This is civilized culture. Bombing any city, much less your own. That's what civilized people do. Moscow. Russia's okay, this is the first paragraph or first sentence. Russia's military acknowledged that a bomb accidentally dropped by one of its warplanes caused a powerful blast in a Russian city not far from Ukraine's border, injuring 2 and scaring local residents. Yeah, there's video of the bomb going off. And it's just ridiculous. Putin is a product of civilized culture. All these wars. Look at the history of civilized culture. This war after war after war after. So you got to own it. You got to own it. So this is what I'm talking about with realistic futurology. Okay, but you got Gen X, well, boomers. Boomers got a foot in the grave right now. And so you got Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, Gen Alpha is being born right now. In a few years, the babies being born will be considered. They'll be considered Gen Beta. So, what I mean by realistic futurology is Gen Beta. They aren't going to buy into this. Why would they want what you're trying to give them? Russia bombs its own city. What a joke. All right, let me add some others here. Elon Musk loses $13 billion in 24 hours after SpaceX rocket explosion and disappointing Tesla earnings. So, top pharaoh, right? He's the top pharaoh. You got all these neo-pharaohs. All these neo-pharaohs on the planet. So the top pharaoh loses 13 billion. What does that even mean? Losing 13 billion. It's just like this guy who says, "Oh yeah, the retirement age in France is too low." Yeah, of course. This guy's never had any worry. Family money. You know, and what if he was rags to riches? Who cares? I mean, what does it make his let them eat cake? Does it make that any better? Loses 13 billion. How many people would just love to lose 13 billion? All these people complaining about taxes. I remember being on Earth. And this is before I guess you could say before the red pill, which millions had taken before me, at least 1 million people. Doomsy ain't anything special. Maybe this podcast is a little strange, a little unique, but Doomsy ain't no leader. I can tell you before the red pill, I used to think I'd love to pay $1 million in taxes. That would just be awesome. If you're paying $1 million in taxes, what kind of income would you have? I mean, do you have a lifestyle where you'd have to worry about rent that month? You're paying $1 million in taxes? You know, I just don't. I just don't see all the complaining by the pharaohs. You know, life's just not good enough for them. No, they got to pay taxes. But, you know, taxes aren't going to save anything anyways. Your problem isn't taxes. Laws and taxes, that's not going to fix a damn thing. All the serious problems you got going on right now, none of the solutions are about taxes or regulations. Look at this headline. Okay, now, look. Or, listen, I should say, this is a podcast. All right, this headline, this is what, my response to this will maybe be what help you realize why this is the world's most controversial podcast. Yeah. Are you ready for this headline? And are you ready for Doomsy's response? Here we go. Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson discussed the urge to have sex, with Musk claiming birth control and abortions could cause civilization to collapse. Good. Yeah. Well, civilization's going to collapse anyway. It is collapsing. Birth control and abortions ain't going to accelerate that at all. But good to civilization ending. Okay, let me make this clear. Because y'all need to hear this, especially the Egyptian crocodiles. And even if you're not an Egyptian crocodile, you need to hear this, okay? Because this is the good news. Are you ready for some good news? Civilization is not humanity. It's not. I know y'all think it is. I know in the Avengers movies and the Star Trek movies and the sci-fi and everything and or just even sci-fi, the Mission Impossibles, everything. Right? Civilized culture is the equivalent of humanity, of the whole species. No, it's not. It's not. Humans were around long before civilized culture. You know what else was around before civilized culture with humans? You know what humans were doing? You know what humans had? Fashion. For 100,000 years. For 100,000 years. For Holy War agriculture. For 100,000 years before Holy War agriculture, aka farming, there was fashion. You had fashion, there were dinner parties. Oh yeah, there was violence. Okay, yeah, there was violence. But not like civilized culture. You guys are the culture of maximum violence, maximum suffering. I mean, you should own that. Birth control and abortions could cause civilization to collapse. Okay, I gotta read some more of this because this is all right. A guy like Elon Musk. Well, there's not people like there's not many neo-pharaohs, but yeah, I'm just using the fact that he's not stupid. His brain works. I mean, I think so. I mean, he's not brain damaged. Okay, so this right here, what I'm about to read you, this just goes to show you the power of mythology, the power of your cultural mythology. And by mythology, I'm talking like the base, the core mythology of your culture. Not the zombie stuff like from your religions or other things. I'm talking about the core mythology, okay? Okay, that's this article. Fox News host Tucker Carlson interviewed billionaire Elon Musk Tuesday. Of course, he's not a Fox News host anymore. They discussed sex, population decline, and civilization collapse. Of course they discuss sex. I mean, if you want to talk about testicle tanning, you go to Tucker Carlson. Demographic experts say Musk's views on population don't fit the facts. Demographic experts. Don't fit the facts? Don't fit the facts. Okay. This goes beyond not fitting the facts, okay? Billionaire Elon Musk aired his controversial ideas on population decline and reproduction in the second of a series of meandering interviews with Fox News Tucker Carlson that aired Tuesday. During the discussion, Musk claimed that the human urge to procreate had been subverted, leading to population decline. Population decline. Okay, that doesn't fit the facts, for sure, because there ain't no population decline. 47 years ago, your culture numbered 4 billion. 47 years before that, your culture numbered 2 billion. Now, note that I'm counting your culture, because I'm not counting humans. Just talking about your culture. 2 billion. 94 years ago. 4 billion. 47 years ago. Now you're 8 billion. And you will, in about 15 years, you'll be 9 billion if civilized culture continues. And the reason you'll be 9 billion in about 15 years is because you keep increasing the food production. You keep increasing the production of food surpluses. And food turns into people. You've been doing that for 10,000 years. So your culture continues, that's going to continue. That's really the ultimate. I mean, your culture's collapsing right now, but it really is going to be collapsing. I mean, the market end is, and let's hope for Gen Beta's sake, that you don't get to the point where your population stops increasing just because it can. Let's hope your population starts increasing because you've abandoned civilized culture. That would be the good thing. That would be a good sign. But when your population is growing, you're still on the way to 9 billion. That number is going up. You're at 8 billion. It's going up and up and up. It's not going down. It's never gone down. Well, I think maybe it went down a little bit during the Black Plague. But for 10,000 years, every year it's been more food, more people, more food, more people, more food, more people, more food, more people, more food, more people. Okay, let's get back to the article. Carlson then asked the Tesla and SpaceX billionaire to expand on the idea. Why is that? I mean, the urge to have sex and to procreate is, after breathing and eating, the most basic urge. How has it been subverted? Said Carlson. Well, it's just, in the past, we would rely upon, simple limbic system rewards in order to procreate. But once you have birth control and abortions and whatnot, now you can still satisfy limbic instinct, but not procreate, Musk replied. Musk then went on to claim humans haven't yet evolved to deal with that because abortion and birth control are fairly recent developments. Abortion and birth control are fairly recent developments? Abortion and birth control were around when Doomsy was little tiny. 47 years ago. 47 years ago, your culture numbered 4 billion people. Now you're 8 billion people. 47 years ago, you had abortion and birth control. 47 years ago. Abortion and birth control were around. 1975. Well, rubbers, they've existed for a while. People knew what's going on with pregnancy. People knew how people get pregnant. It wasn't some magical thing. Right? People have known for 1,000 years. Thousands of years. How people get pregnant through sex, right? That's why Mary had to lie. That's why she had to lie. She was pregnant out of wedlock, right? Virgin birth. So 4 billion to 8 billion. Okay, the next paragraph. Musk added, I'm sort of worried that, hey, civilization, if we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, perhaps increase a little bit, then civilization's going to crumble. Civilization's going to crumble? Well, for one, it's crumbling. Okay, it's done. It's game over. Okay, y'all want to talk about cancel culture. Ooh, cancel culture. Ooh, someone's being canceled. Oh, no one's getting canceled. Cancel culture. That's so stupid. God, that's stupid. Such a stupid phrase. You say that for just alliteration. That's all it's got going for it is alliteration. You English speakers, you love alliteration. Peter Parker, Fantastic Four, Bruce Banner. You love alliteration of cancel culture. There's no cancel. Someone goes from being popular to being unpopular, from being employed to being unemployed. Ooh, let's blame something on that. Let's say there's a cancel culture now. Some people say consequences are just whatever you want to call it. No cancel culture. You want to use these two words, cancel culture. Here's how you use them. Your culture is getting canceled. It's getting canceled. Gen Beta is going to cancel your culture. Gen Beta is going to cancel civilized culture. They're going to have to. If there's going to be humans on Earth in the 22nd century, Gen Beta is going to have to cancel civilized culture. Okay, so let's use those two words intelligently, shall we? Cancel culture. Woke. Well, someone's woke. Okay, for one, no one knows what. Here's woke. Here's what woke means. Here's how, I guess I would say, how people have been using woke. It's like an awareness. It's basically what? Just an awareness of unfairness? An awareness of unfairness. And so that's woke. But whoop-de-frickin-do. Awareness of unfairness. Ooh. Woke, that's such a... Y'all ain't woke. None of y'all is woke. It doesn't work. Of being aware of something being unfair. How does that make someone woke? Everyone else is sleeping, but someone's aware of some unfairness. So that's pretty standard, right? What are y'all told? What are y'all told when you're kids, when you're young, by your parents? Life isn't fair. So ain't none of y'all woke. Cancel culture. Oh, someone went from popular to being unpopular, from losing followers or losing a job. Ooh. It's just public now, people losing jobs. You want to use those two words intelligently? Gen Beta is going to cancel your culture. Gen Alpha. And y'all be smart to help them do that. At least be talking about it. It's not sustainable. We don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers? What? That is freaking... Elon Musk said that. That's how powerful mythology is. This guy, he's not a moron. I mean, he's an average idiot, like Doomsy. He's got privilege, sure, but he's not a dummy. But he thinks just this completely ridiculous thing. If we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, how? That doesn't make any sense. Unless you're cannibals. If you're cannibals, that makes sense. If you need to eat people so you can survive and procreate, then you need more people around so you can eat them. Right? Well, that's just mind-boggling ignorance right there. So, what's woke? Being aware of unfairness. Okay. Let me explain something to you. It's not that life isn't fair. Your culture isn't fair. So complaining about all these things or celebrating, oh, this person got an Academy Award, or this person got a nice job. Whoop-de-doo. La-di frickin' da. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Pyramid building was never meant to be fair. You're celebrating these tiny little victories that don't matter because your culture is not going to be around much longer. It's just not. Oh, you think Miami being a ghost town, you think that's the worst thing? No, but nobody living in Miami. You think that's the worst thing? About global warming, about climate change, sea level rise? First, let me explain something. Like, you don't need like the floods, like the hurricane flooding, to make Miami a ghost town. All you need is like 1 millimeter of ocean water on your office floor. You got a ground floor office, ground floor grocery store, ground floor living room, ground floor bank. Just 1 millimeter of ocean water. There's 1 hour a day at the highest tide, right? 1 millimeter. That's it. That's game over for that city. People don't got to be wading around hip deep, knee deep, even ankle deep. If the soles of your feet are wet from ocean water while you're walking across the street or while you're walking into the bank, even just for 1 hour, it's done. It's done. Miami's gone. Yeah, but that's not the worst of it. If civilized culture continues, civilized culture continues, between 3 to 5 degrees warming, 3 to 5 degrees warming, that spells your extinction. Really, because that's going to be the result. Because what scientists know is between 3 and 5 degrees warming, 90% of ocean life will disappear, will be gone. Because this warming is happening rapidly. Yes, climate change happens. It's been happening. Earth is billions of years old. But climate change has never happened this fast. There's not enough time for stuff to adapt. I'm going to quote Elon Musk again here, because I'm sort of worried that, hey, civilization, if we don't make enough people to at least sustain our numbers, perhaps increase a little bit, civilization is going to crumble. Why? So at 4 billion, things were just terrible. When there were 4 billion people in 1975. 4 billion of you civilized folks, 4 billion farmers, 4 billion pyramid builders. We weren't making enough people then. You know, of course it takes maybe it takes a neo-pharaoh to think like this, really. He wants more pyramid builders. The article goes on to say, but demographic experts disagree, telling Insider in 2022 that global birth rates would likely continue to increase this century before very gradually leveling out. When it levels out, it's done, for sure. But before that, it's done. It's already done. Okay, let's get to another article. I don't know if I got the energy to keep broadcasting. Oh, look at this right here. Oh yeah, Doomsy. Let's weigh in on the abortion thing, right? It's from Jezebel. Kylie Chung wrote this. Anti-abortion activist on 10-year-old rape victim. A woman's body is designed to carry life. That's the headline. Headline reads, anti-abortion activist on 10-year-old rape victim. A woman's body is designed to carry life. All right, that's just maximum intellectual dishonesty right there. Woman's body is designed to carry life. No. Female bodies, female animals evolved to create life. Yeah, you gotta have some sperm to get to the egg. Some sperm's gotta get to the egg. But after that, what? With humans, 9 months. 9 months of creation going on there. Carry life. Like that's just something that happens. A woman's emotional state, her diet, everything contributes to the outcome of a baby that's born or not after pregnancy results. It's just so intellectually dishonest. So intellectually dishonest. Because they have to do everything they can to control a woman's body to get this baby to pop out of there, right? Like it's just something that happens. She's just a vessel. When in fact, she should be considered the creator. Doomsy. How could you say it that way? I don't know, the creator is Yahweh, God of Abraham. All right, Jesus. What if Mary had aborted Jesus? Yeah, what if she had? That shows you who's in control. I mean, who should be in control. That shows you what matters. Look, you want to say that humans are, and this is really one of the core principles of your cultural mythology, is that humans, Homo sapiens, are the reason for everything in the universe existing. Humans are why the universe is around. Yahweh needs to be worshipped, right? The great big giant penis in the sky needs worshiping 24/7 from humans, from things that look like him. Well, not quite like him. You gotta chop a bit off the penis there. Or at least for a while you did. Needs worshiping. So, that's the intellectual dishonesty. Humans are, you think this anti-abortion activist, she's just so sick and twisted. Laura Streitman, head of Cincinnati Right to Life, addressed the gutting case of a 10-year-old rape victim in the state who was forced to travel to Indiana for abortion last July because Ohio's ban doesn't include a rape exception. While a pregnancy may have been difficult on a 10-year-old body, a woman's body is designed to carry life. That is a biological fact, Streitman said, referring to a child victim as a woman for political convenience. And she's 10 years old. For political convenience. Yeah, she was raped. But that's okay according to civilized culture, right? Your most popular religions. What do you want to bet? Streitman's a Christian, and she's cool with this pregnancy. She wants this 10-year-old. She's a Christian. What? How many Muslims are fine with it? All right, in Islam, you got Prophet Muhammad, the ultimate role model. Right? He's the ultimate role model for billions of Muslims, and he raped a 9-year-old girl. Oh, but it was a different time back then. Your culture is sick. Civilized culture. Why cling on to it? It doesn't make sense. Stop clinging. Well, you're going to try to give it to Jen Beta, and Jen Beta is going to go, no. We're canceling this culture. Cancel culture. Civilized culture is going to get canceled. Goodness, how long have we been at this? This headline here. Pentagon sounds alarm over Biden plan for offshore wind sites. Yeah, somewhere I saw an article. Biden's opened up, like, He's opened up a bunch of drilling. So there's a bunch of drilling that's going to go on for oil. I mean, there's not much difference. I mean, Democrats, Republicans, Republicrats, whatever. The Pentagon is sounding alarms over Biden administration plans to advance offshore wind projects along the central Atlantic U.S. coast, warning that almost all of the new terrain eyed for development conflicts with military operations. Oh, military operations. You guys are pathetic. Your culture is pathetic. Not you people. People are people. You're just caught. Y'all are caught in a stampede. What are you going to do? You can't just stop running in a stampede. You get trampled to death. But you better start talking about it. You better start talking to Gen Alpha, Gen Z. Better start talking about how, you're going to slow down the stampede and stop it. It can't keep going. Okay, so let's look at another article here. Let's do some scrolling. Some more scrolling. Maryland shuts. This is from Fox News on Yahoo News. This article. Where's the date for this? April 15th. On Yahoo News, Fox News. Okay, the headline reads, Maryland shuts down daycare center where employee allegedly filmed herself abusing children. So, that's just terrible. And what are y'all talking about? What's the fix to this? Get ready, because this is why Doomsy has the world's most controversial podcast, okay? Because I'll tell you the fix for this. But before I do, let's discuss what your fix is, right? What laws, regulation, training, what maybe security guards, maybe armed security guards, more supervision, maybe inspections, training, more vetting, right? Maryland shuts down daycare center where employee allegedly films herself abusing children. She filmed herself doing it. So, what is the solution? Security cameras? She filmed herself doing it. But maybe you just need more live security feeds so parents can check. Okay, here's Doomsy's solution. Stop building pyramids for these frickin' pharaohs. Stop building pyramids. Stop it. Now look, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with building a pyramid. In and of itself, you look at, talk to some anthropologists. You look at North America. Look, hunter-gatherer tribal peoples been around for 1 million years. Modern Homo sapiens, few hundred thousand years. Modern Homo sapiens. All the language, the fashion, the dinner parties, families, friends. teamwork. Y'all had that for hundreds of thousands of years. And you know what else humans had for hundreds of thousands of years? Leisure time. Yeah, leisure time. So, if you got the time, you want to burn the calories, and you got the calories to put back in you. You want to do the extra hunting and gathering, so you have the extra calories to burn. And maybe you want to have a nice mound of dirt or stone to party. Okay, build one. You got the time. Anthropologists disagree on some things, but most all of them agree on the fact that hunter-gatherer tribal peoples, pretty much they live lives of relative leisure compared to you civilized folk. Maybe 2 hours of work a day. Well, let me put work in quotes, because to them this wasn't really work. None of them, for hundreds of thousands of years, humans never feared losing a job. Burning calories to get calories, to them that wasn't work. That's just life. That's just living. But, go out into the wilderness. You can find some wild animals still left around. It's not so easy to do anymore on Earth. And how many of them are working? So, the solution to this this abuse in this daycare center is let's stop having daycare centers. No more daycare centers. A daycare center is basically a detention center. Daycare center. It's a detention center. You're detaining these people. Elementary school, daycare center, middle school, high school, whatever you want to call it. It's a detention center. You're detaining these people, these younger people in your culture, until they're ready to build pyramids for pharaohs. 8 billion pyramid builders. About 1 million neo-pharaohs. About 1 million neo-pharaohs now. So many neo-pharaohs, there's different, you got different levels and just stratospheres. It's just different levels of pharaoh. So, what are you going to do about daycare centers or employee? The answer is no more daycare centers. Stop building. The way you do that, stop building pyramids for pharaohs. I'm not saying you have to stop working. Doesn't mean you have to stop making stuff. Doesn't mean you have to stop doing extra work above and beyond what you need to do to get the calories to survive on a daily basis. Do some extra work if you want. If you need to. If you want to live with electricity, say. But building pyramids for neo-pharaohs, you know why you do that? Because of your delusion of grandeur. You got to have neo-pharaohs. Because that little handheld supercomputer in the palm of your hand, little smartphone, AI, that goes a long way now to reinforcing your delusion of grandeur, that you're in the image of gods. But still lots of poverty. Life sucks for a lot of people. Like billions of you you've got to be told to count your blessings, right? Count your blessings. Because your life sucks. And it's supposed to make you feel better that billions of others, their life sucks way worse than yours. So how can you be gods, right? How can you be like gods? Oh, well, you have pharaohs. You have neo-pharaohs. Look at all these pharaohs, the royalty, the millionaires. Right? You got millionaires. So yeah, that's the evidence that you need to support this delusion of grandeur that's at the very heart, the foundation of your cultural mythology. All right, let's move on here. What's the next? Oh, yeah. That's kind of in the same category. It's from Fox News, on Yahoo News. California elementary teacher allegedly molested students for years. Police. Elementary school teacher. A second grade school teacher in San Bruno, California, was arrested Friday for allegedly molesting 3 students. Police believe Allen Elementary. I'm not going to go on reading this. This is just like daycare center, elementary school. Let's just say detention center, right? You need to detain these people as parents. And why do you got to build pyramids? Because the food's locked up. The food is locked up. All the food is owned. Right? That's the ultimate thing. Calories. Everyone's got to eat. So think about in ancient Egypt. Who was the only person allowed to hunt in ancient Egypt? Who was the only person right there in ancient Egypt? We're talking Africa, right? Just lush, just vegetation, animals walking all over the place. Who was the only person allowed to hunt? The Pharaoh. Well, and the Pharaoh's buddies, wherever they were when they went. When they got bored enough and wanted to go hunting. Now, why was that? Because if everyone could hunt, they're in Egypt. I mean, who would work? Why would you work if breakfast, lunch, and dinner is just walking around or hanging around? All right, here we go. Now, let's get ready for this, huh? World records 529th straight month of above average heat. And an El Nino is brewing. March of 2023 was the planet's second warmest month in recorded history. Okay, so you're on your way to your culture. There's no fix within your culture. So your culture is on its way to causing your extinction. Because scientists know that between 3 and 5 degrees warming, 90% of ocean life gone, will disappear. Right? And let me tell you, they don't they don't go the next step and conclude what's going to be the result of that. But Doomsy will. Okay, Doomsy will tell you. 90% of marine life gone, that means you're gone. No more Homo sapiens. So, it could take Doomsy 20 years. I don't know where I am. I don't know what galaxy. I'm not sure where the Milky Way is. So it could take me 20, 30 years. 40 years. Doomsy's a Gen Y guy. So I could do it. I could do it 40. It's possible if I make it back to Earth. Who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? People? Humans? If 90% of marine life is gone, you're gone. Because humans became humans by evolving, living on a planet with ocean life. You just can't upset that balance that badly and expect to just go on. Colonize Mars. Even if Mars had the gravity. It's a friggin' wasteland. So 529th straight month of above average heat. 529 straight months. All right. Now this headline, this news article, Doomsy's got something to say about this, right? Illustrated Anne Frank book removed by Florida school. Illustrated Anne Frank book removed by Florida school. Well, that's just going to fix things, right? Look, whether the Anne Frank book is in the school or not, your schools are done. Your culture is collapsing. Look what one little virus did to your economy. What do you think is going to happen when there's more plastic than fish in the ocean around mid-century and most forests gone? Deforestation alone is going to cause the collapse of every economy in your culture. So, this is bad for the schools. You're talking about a book that's about the Holocaust, which, again, that's your culture. Your culture did the Holocaust. That's you guys. That's y'all. Own it. It wasn't hunter-gatherers that did that. Anne Frank, directly or indirectly, just like all of you, was a farmer. Now look, I'm not saying you have to give up on agriculture, because you just can't. There's no way to go back to hunting and gathering. You've altered the landscape so much, now you can't go back. There's 10% of the mammals on Earth right now. Only 10% are non-human. 10% non-human or 10% of the mammals on Earth are non-human, or they're not your food. getting late for Doomsy. I'm saying I should do this not every day, but it started too late today. What, in some time zone, I guess, on Earth it's late too, but it's probably not late really for this planet. I mean, where am I? I don't know. Anne Frank book removed. This headline. Will Trump attend his rape trial? No, he hasn't attended it. He hasn't. That right there. What, in the land of the free? They're in the land of the free. Trump was president. Yeah, only for one term. And yeah, he's always been a loser. He's always been a loser. Just like Musk, his daddy gave him a bunch of money. And he's always lost the popular vote. He got into the White House just once because of the slavery scam vote, right? That's what the Electoral College is. The slavery scam. You guys still use that. You still use that. So don't be thinking your democracy is all special or something. It's not. I'm not saying keep this guy out of office, keep this guy away from a second term. I don't have to say that. Doomsy doesn't have to say that. Trump is a loser. But he was American president. So, this guy, will Trump attend his rape trial? Look, that's an indictment on your culture. Not just on the United States of America and its citizens. This guy who was, leader of the free world. None of you. None of y'all. None of these guys are leaders. He's not a leader. Attend his rape trial. So I think the show opened with hell on earth in Haiti. And of course, we got this right here. 1 in 5 adults say they've had a family member killed by a gun, study finds. Of course, these are American adults. A lot of this stuff is American news, but hey, America is civilized culture. This is from April 11th by Jordan Freeman. Nearly 1 in 5 American adults say they have had a family member who was killed by a gun, including suicides, according to a new study from the Kaiser Family Foundation. Roughly the same number, 21%, said they have been personally threatened with a gun, the study found. People of color were more likely to report witnessing gun violence or having family members who were killed by guns. People of color. What kind of phrase is that? People of color. I don't get it. White, black. First of all, in a box of crayons, however many crayons. What, a box of 16 crayons? And then they got, what, 128 colors? 128 colors in a box of crayons. Or am I using bits or powers of 2? What do they use for crayons? What do they come in packs? 8. That's 16, 24. Let's say a box of 24 crayons. 24 colors in that box of crayons. White's one of them. The white's a color. But you know what? I've never seen someone that looks like a white crayon. That's just not... No one's that color. I've never seen anybody looks like a black crayon. Y'all are just different shades. You know, it's not a conspiracy because the pharaohs, they don't know. They don't realize. They don't know the truth. Even if they do know, they're not aware of what's really going on. But I would guess subconsciously they certainly are content, satisfied with the fact all the peasants, the common class, the commoners, all the people dragging stones, all the masses at the bottom of the socio-economic hierarchy are fighting between each other, fighting amongst themselves, and complaining upwards about how life isn't fair. It's just not fair. It's never going to be fair. The system was never meant to be fair. So who's a person of non-color? Is there a person without color? No color at all? So are there any invisible people? Transparent people? Is that what we're talking about? White is not a color, or white's all colors? If all colors, people of all colors? Is white, I mean, what kind of color scheme are we talking here? People of color. 1 in 5 adults say they've had a family member killed by a gun, study finds. Yeah, I know people. I've had family members killed by guns. Extended family. And I've never worried, how much melanin was in their skin. Sea levels rising rapidly in southern U.S., study finds. It's from April 10th. Sea levels rising rapidly in southern U.S. Ben Adler, senior editor. Also is on Yahoo News. Sea level rising. Sea level rising. And what are y'all doing about it? What are y'all doing about it? Here's what y'all are doing about it. This headline from March 29th. U.S. puts Italy-sized chunk of Gulf of Mexico up for auction for oil drilling. Put it up for auction. Yeah, as terrible as Trump was, does it much matter? You're so the stampede of 8 billion of y'all. You're so close to this cliff that does it matter if you got an idiot like Trump cracking a whip or making the stampede go faster? How much faster can it really go at this point? 2 billion 47 years later, 4 billion 47 years after that, you're 8 billion. The government puts Italy-sized chunk of Gulf of Mexico up for auction for oil drilling. So they're not leaders. You don't have leaders. These people aren't leaders. Stop waiting for them. Gen Beta's not going to wait. Why should Gen Alpha wait? Why should any of you be waiting for these phonies to do something? They're nothing special. Pharaohs are never going to do anything to stop or even slow down the pyramid building. They're pharaohs. They want their pyramids built. No matter what. And Pharaoh or not, 8 billion of you. Earth is just a resource, right? Everything is just a resource. Screw everything. Screw every other creature. It's all for humans, right? So, more oil drilling. Put it up for auction. This is from Reuters. Reuters off the Yahoo News Wire. Rising Antarctic ice melt will dramatically slow global ocean flows. Study. And the photo is penguins on an iceberg. See, there's another photo here. This is one of two. Let me click. What do we got? And just more iceberg. Rising Antarctic ice melt will dramatically slow global ocean flows. This is a study. So this is getting to something here. And this is about the end of this episode of the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show. I think, where is it? Where is it here? Oh, this is classic. There we go. This is what we're going to finish on. This article right here. And this is from The Hill. The Hill. Opinion piece in the Energy and Environment section by William S. Becker, opinion contributor. It's from April 9th. Views expressed by contributors are their own and not the view of The Hill. So this guy writes, this is a headline: How to Avoid Apocalypse Fatigue. How to avoid apocalypse fatigue. I'll read the caption to the photo here. And the photo's at sunset. Very smoky, dirty. It's not clouds. Sun is low in the sky. Bunch of garbage-eating birds flying, and it's like a landfill. Just filth, just garbage everywhere. You can see there's a garbage truck. You can see a couple people, their silhouettes in the foreground, kind of a distance from the camera. They're going through some garbage. A couple dogs facing off. File. A thick blanket of smoke envelops young rag pickers searching for reusable material at a garbage dump in New Delhi, India, marking its biggest effort yet to make India a global hub for production, use and export of green hydrogen. The Indian federal government on Wednesday, January 4th, approved $2.3 billion funding with an aim to grow various segments of the green hydrogen sector in India. India hopes that this investment will abate 50 million metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions. It's the caption of this photo. Underneath this headline, "How to Avoid Apocalypse Fatigue." So this dude writes, "Ever since climate change became a thing, communication experts have been offering advice on how to talk about it. Is hope or hopelessness the message that motivates people to act? Too much gloom creates apocalypse fatigue and fatalism, while too much optimism comes across as unrealistic." Too much gloom. Okay, Doomsy McDoomscroller Show. All right, this is not doom and gloom. There's good news here. The good news is humanity isn't the problem. You are not broken monkeys. Okay, your culture is collapsing. Your culture is collapsing, and there's no saving it. Just look at your governments. Look at your governments. You really think in the system that y'all have all the corruption, even without the corruption, even if everybody was on their best behavior, you really think that what you all are doing, that's gonna keep the plastic out of the ocean? The latest discussion, the article goes on to say, is about President Joe Biden's messaging. A large helping of doom with a pinch of optimism. Look, it's not fixable. Okay, that's good news, right? Because you can just leave it behind. Gen Beta's gonna do it. Gen Beta, I guarantee you, Gen Beta is gonna cancel your culture. They're gonna have to. If Gen Beta wants to have grandkids, there's no way civilized culture is gonna be the culture for them. It's just not. It can't work. It's unsustainable what y'all are doing. Holy war agriculture is at the end of its run. It's at the end. So this is good news. Like Elon Musk saying, it's the end of civilization. Well, good. The civilization sucks for most people. For the vast majority of people, all animals, all non-human animals, guaranteed. For everyone, for everyone that's not in civilized culture, for every human not in civilized culture, and for every non-human animal on Earth, civilized culture sucks. It's the worst thing that's ever happened on Earth. To Earth. It's the worst. No matter what kind of ism you use for your economy. Socialism, capitalism, communism. Oh, you're just not doing communism right. Oh, you're just not doing capitalism right. Bullshit. Never going to do it right, right? Never going to be right. And no matter what, no matter how you do it, you always get the socioeconomic hierarchy. You always get all the masses of commoners at the bottom, some nobles in the middle, and the royalty at the top. Always, always, always. And it sucks for most people. And it sucks for everyone that's not human. Certainly sucked for the humans on North America. They lived there for 17,000 years before European farmers got to North America. 17,000 years, you could go swimming in the lakes and the rivers, not worried about getting poisoned for 17,000 years. So how to avoid apocalypse fatigue? Yeah, so put your head in the sand, right? So this is how powerful mythology is. Let's not think about it that much. A large helping of doom with a pinch of optimism is what this article says. Biden has said, we lose it all if global warming exceeds 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Double that, and you really lose it all. I mean, you won't even exist. Doomsy will get back to Earth. Maybe if I'm traveling faster than light, I can slow down my aging. So maybe I can get, maybe I can get to Earth by the end of the 21st century. Maybe mid 22nd century. Well, if you get to 4 degrees, 4 or 5 degrees, it's done. No more people, no more humans. Because if there's no more life in the ocean, if 90% of all ocean life is just gone, that means you are too. Bye-bye gorillas, bye-bye giraffes, bye-bye penguins, bye-bye polar bears, bye-bye wolves, bye-bye crows. And you say bye-bye plankton, it's a bye-bye Earth as you know it. Bye-bye you. Other public figures give similar messages, the article goes on to say. Secretary General of the United Nations gives blunt warnings of dystopia. He has talked about a fast track to climate disaster, climate emergency, and catastrophic damages if the world does not act more quickly. He has accused government and business leaders of lying and choking our planet, saying one thing but doing another. Now let me read that again, that last sentence, okay? Because I read it wrong. And there's a one word in there we really need to look at before we close this episode of Doomsy. Let me highlight this here. Let's see. He has accused government and business leaders of lying and, quote, choking our planet, quote, by, quote, saying one thing but doing another. Okay. we're looking at two words here: leaders and pronoun. Well, Doomsy should do a whole episode on pronouns. I got a lot to say about pronouns. I got shit to say about pronouns that you have not heard about pronouns. I guarantee it. But before the pronoun, let's look at the other word: government and business leaders. Okay, they're not leaders. They're not. That's bullshit. And that's good news. Because if they were actual leaders, y'all'd be fucked. Because they're leading you to extinction. The absolute total disaster. They are not leaders. They are riding on top of a stampede of 8 billion people. You got 8 billion people stampeding towards a cliff of ecological catastrophe, and you got about 1 million pharaohs on top of those people who are stampeding. Maybe you got a layer of people. You got 3 layers, right? You got the nobles, who they only have their feet running some of the time. The nobles, they're holding furniture. The nobles don't have to run, but they have people on top of them. They got the royals on top of them. The commoners and the peasants, y'all are stampeding. You're trampling everything underfoot. You're in contact with the ground. You're running. You got maximum suffering going on, headed for that cliff. Okay, and then you got the nobles, the middle class, or whatever you want to call them, the royalty sycophants. I don't know. You got them on the shoulders of the commoners who are stampeding, so they don't have to run. They don't have to move their legs, but they're a little bit burdened, just slightly. They're holding some furniture. They got furniture on their shoulders, and the furniture. You got the royals. You got the pharaohs. You got the senators. You got the millionaires. You got the millionaires, the multimillionaires, the billionaires, the imams, the popes, the members of parliament, the congressional representatives, the CEOs. They're riding, they're on top of the stampede. They got a comfortable spot to sit on. Like, they're people in first class, they're not flying the plane. Okay, they're not the people in first class. They're going same direction as everyone else. And your culture is a plane with no pilots. It's a plane with no pilots. It's just a mass hysteria. It's just a stampede. And it's a plane that is going down. It can't fly. It just can't. It's not going to stay in it. Just because it's still in the air, you think it's flying, but it's not. It's going to hit the ground. The pilots have bailed. You know who the pilots were? The pilots were those a-holes in the Fertile Crescent 10,000 years ago that got started. Started killing everyone. Started killing all the hunter-gatherers or nomadic herders. Those are the pilots. They're done and gone. They bailed. I mean, they just died. So, you got these people you think are leaders. They're just sitting in first class. That's not even first class. I mean, that'd be nice if you were in coach. business class or whatever, but that's not even that. You don't even get a flight where you get to sit down. You're on a stampede. 8 billion of you. Now, I use the second person plural because Doomsy ain't part of it anymore. The only way I could escape the dominant culture, though, was to leave the planet. It's kind of pathetic. So these guys aren't leaders. So that's good news. They ain't doing nothing. Don't wait. Gen Beta is not going to wait on them. Legislation, taxation, ain't nothing. None of that's going to fix anything. Nothing. Okay, so that's one word I have issue with this last sentence here. He has accused government and business leaders of lying and choking our planet. So the other word is this pronoun here, this possessive pronoun, our planet. Our planet. So that's mythology there. That's your delusion of grandeur. That's your delusion. You think it's your planet. It doesn't say by choking dolphins, the dolphins' planet. By choking gorillas' planet. Our planet. You know, that means humans, right? It's our planet. No, nobody you think the gods gave you that planet. That's why everything's a resource, right? It's a resource. So avoid apocalypse. How to avoid apocalypse fatigue? How about avoid apocalypse? You got this article says how to avoid apocalypse fatigue. You know why you have this headline? It says how to avoid apocalypse fatigue? Because none of this joker, he doesn't know how to avoid the apocalypse. So he can't write an article about how to avoid the apocalypse because he doesn't know, he's not aware that civilized culture is collapsing and it's going to take it's going to take everybody down with it. You all go down with the sinking ship, a bunch of other species too. So you can't write about that, how to avoid the apocalypse, because he doesn't know. Most of y'all don't know. So I want you to think, what really does civilized mean? It certainly doesn't mean peaceful behavior. How can it? Look at what y'all do. 1 in 5 people know someone, or someone's been shot by, Haiti, the hell on earth there. Well, how about Ukraine? There's all kinds of violence. Your culture is the culture of maximum violence and suffering. The culture of 8 billion people. You farmers / pyramid builders. And farmers, that's just the shortened word for holy war agriculturalists. That your culture is a culture of maximum violence and suffering. And what, just now? Oh, because you got the electricity? It's justified? Really, there's no other way. No other way to have electricity. You got to be waging war versus Earth. Yeah, you're waging war versus each other. You realize you're all soldiers. 8 billion. This guy doesn't know how to avoid apocalypse fatigue. You can't say how to avoid the apocalypse. He doesn't know. You're all soldiers. You're all in the war. You gotta feel it, right? You feel it, don't you? I know a lot of you do. Whenever you buy a bottle of something, plastic, and you can feel it, right? You can feel that recycling is just a bunch of bullshit. Reuse, recycle. These programs ain't doing nothing. How could they do something? Look, when you were 4 billion of you. 4 billion, need to recycle. That was, Gen X. Gen X, y'all got the call. Y'all got warned. Dystopian sci-fi was looking like it's agreeing with science. Around 1975, when you're 4 billion. Even if you were all recycling, well, you add another 4 billion. That's a lot of death. You think adding 4 billion, doubling from 4 billion to 8 billion, all that people, you think that's just nothing but life? Here's a fact. Here's truth in the universe. All life, all of it, everywhere, all life arises from death. The life of everything living, the life of every living organism arises from the death of other organisms. So your culture, you went from 2 billion to 4 billion to 8 billion. That's a lot of death. That's a lot of death. And it's not necessary. You don't need pharaohs. You don't need royalty. You don't need millionaires. That need not define your existence in the universe. You don't need to be these punished planet conquerors. Well, some recycling program is going to help things when you're going to add another billion. And you know why you'll add another billion? It's slowing down. You aren't going to double in 47 years the way you have the past century. That's not going to happen. Because Earth is finite. All right? But you are going to add another billion warmongering, pyramid building competitors. Another billion in the next 15 years or so. So, what does it matter if we recycle? There's no fixing it. Okay, so that's the good news. The good news, just accept it. Avoid apocalypse. You know what? Avoid apocalypse fatigue. Stop thinking that civilization's going to save itself. Stop thinking. Stop wondering if civilized culture can continue. What's the right way to go about it? There is no right way. There's no one right way for people to live, and there's no right way. There's no way to fix civilized culture. It is intrinsically unsustainable. It is ending. It is collapsing. Gen Beta is going to cancel your culture. So start talking about it. Fess up. You want to avoid apocalypse fatigue? Talk to someone younger than you, a generation younger, and say, you know what? You know, this ain't working. It can't work. That fruitful multiplication ain't so fruitful. The multiplication is going to end. You need new minds. You need new minds working on these solutions. You don't need programs. You don't need new legislation, new taxation. You don't need new economic incentives. What could it do for you? You've been at it 10,000 years. Time to bail. It's time to bail. Right? Just give it up. So you want to avoid apocalypse fatigue? Just realize. Fess up. Right? The jig is up anyways. Isn't it? I mean, you got this doom thing going on. Doom and gloom. What, if you're too optimistic, it sounds foolish. If you're too realistic or whatever, it's too much doom and gloom. It's depressing. Doom scrolling. Avoid doom scrolling. Avoid apocalypse fatigue. Just put your head in the sand. You don't have to. You don't have to. The most powerful thing you can do. The most powerful thing you can do is talk about this, especially to younger generations. I don't know that voting's going to do anything. Look at governments do not exist to dismantle, to help people abandon civilized culture. Governments are products of civilized culture. And they're basically there to just keep things going, just keep the status quo. Little tiny changes here and there. Every once in a while. It takes a long time. Elections, votes, Republicans, Republicrats, Labor, Tories. Doesn't matter. You don't worry about that. Those people aren't leaders. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do to stop the revolution that's going to solve the problems that need to be solved. They can put down revolutions. People at the top can put down revolutions when the people at the bottom are trying to rearrange the content of the hierarchy. But if the people at the bottom just leave the hierarchy, if they have no more, if they don't have any more input, what are the people at the top going to do? The Mayans disappeared. They didn't disappear. People at the bottom said, screw this, we're done doing this. No more. Hohokam, American Southwest, North America. So screw this. No more. They had a socio-economic hierarchy. And they did agriculture. They were a little bit different. They didn't do holy war agriculture. They did full-time agriculture. They were getting like almost all their calories from agriculture, but they weren't doing holy war agriculture. We know this because they were around for 1,450 years. And they managed to not kill everyone on the continent like farmers did when they got to North America from Europe. But they got tired of it. And in one generation, gone, done. So that's how you avoid apocalypse fatigue. I don't know. Maybe there's no avoiding it. You got to get certainly burn your head in the sand, isn't it? But look, Doomsy's going to do some scrolling, so you don't have to do so much yourself. So come back to the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show. If you want more controversy, more heresy, you can always count on it here on the Doomsy McDoomscroller Show. Well, that's all the time I got right now in this galaxy, this universe. I'm going to find some lunch, a restaurant, some place to put down this ship. You got to get out of orbit. Time to bail.